What's up, Wolfden and public? Sure, we got some non-Wolfden members in here, but we're going to call you all Wolfden members anyway. Since you're here, you navigated your way here somehow. Welcome. I'm going to be quick and dirty, working on some stuff for the Dallas event, which is on Thursday. And, I get in on Thursday. It's actually Friday, Saturday. We got some really cool stuff planned for you guys, and that's going to kind of mark the less frequency publicly. As you can see, if you're in my Telegram groups and stuff, most people just aren't prepared. They may not have the capacity, and that's okay, to really understand what's going on. And we're not going to bang our heads up against the wall. We're not trying to convince anybody of anything. I could be a complete loony and way off, and that's okay. That's okay. We're living in our world. We're doing our thing. So far, the results have been phenomenal. We never know what's going to happen. And a bunch of people are sitting around waiting to go see Told You So. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We work very hard on an ecosystem, and 99.99999% of people should not be in crypto. I explained that in a few videos back with diffusion of innovations and Cartman's triangle. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a lot of time and effort into the Wolfden, the people that get it. Okay, the people that get it. Everybody else, they can find their way in, and it's perfectly fine. We don't need to push them in. We don't need to pull them in. We don't need to prove we're right. The more time we spend trying to be right, the less time we spend being useful. So we're focused on utility, not validity. Let people be let people make valid points all over the place. Don't get sucked into arguing or anything like that. At least not as a member or representative of the Wolfden. What you do with your own time, with your own brand and face and personality, that's entirely up to you, and we support that. Just don't support it as the Wolfden. Quick update. Again, we're going to move to mostly Wolfden only and Guardian only calls. Again, we have enough members, enough buying power, enough influence to do that and move the needle in a very big way. And frankly, like I said, people just don't get it. If you still think crypto is about pumping up coins, you don't get it. Our ecosystem won't make sense to you. That's okay. People are doing very, very well in our ecosystem. I love we have a section on Discord called Wolfemonials, and people are changing their lives and the lives of their family and stuff like that. It's all that matters to me. All right, so as we do, let's go through tonight here. Looking at 20.5 million in TVL. That's going to keep rolling, and the critical point here is probably about 30 million. At 30 million, we have obviously a good amount of TVL that probably flips the next DEX, which puts us number six biggest DEX, and we're like 2 weeks old, right? As we do this and as we attract more partners, what it does is supports the price. The token price is still much higher than it needs to be, which is phenomenal. That's a byproduct of people understanding strategy. So the reason on paper, anybody else trying to build a DEX will tell you this is not possible. We're sitting over 3x, like 3.5x over pre-sale with high emissions and a ton of TVL. How is that possible? We have educated investors. They're sophisticated. They're not moving stuff around all the time. They're not selling stuff off. They're not making bad decisions and trying to correct it. Right? So we're gonna carry that as long as we can. At about 30 million TVL, we should get some nice support with the token price. Not that we need it, but so the more redundancies, the better. So that's where we're at with Night. You can see real quick pools. The only pool we have right here is Night. There will be additional pools. These pools are going to be long-term, so Night is never going anywhere. The pools that we add are long-term, probably indefinite, right? The raids, Wizards indefinite, Guards indefinite. I think Crush is a 30-day raid. DEP is 90 days. DSG is 30 days, I believe. You can always check on details. And it shows you the end. That's the block. But Wizard and Guard will continue to get re-upped because obviously they're long-term partner projects. So these are there's going to be 3 or 4 more of these. Some of them are really big projects that are coming this week. Keep an eye out if you're in the Wolfden. Obviously, I will announce and I will explain what these are and how they work individually. And so this is just a quick retroactive We can see that cool thing about Undead. We've been talking about Undead kind of under the radar, but if you go to the retweets, you will quickly see that we have a supporter in the Phantom Foundation. We knew we had a supporter in the Phantom Foundation. They are very supportive of new projects. Of course, what they requested is that we don't have a bunch of prices and charts and Moonboy stuff, which is why we love Phantom. They want to support non-Moonboy projects. So that's pretty cool. Just so you guys can see that, you have to understand that all this Moonboy shilling stuff is not what any real project or platform wants. Okay? Why Wiz and Guard not in pool if perpetual? Because that's where we put them. I mean, but I don't understand the utility in that question. I apologize. So, and that's my lack of understanding. I just don't understand. Yeah, their partners, not Cortex. Yeah, Jason is fairly accurate there. It's amazing how often people lose the forest for the trees. The people that made the most money in crypto, they understand how things work at a macro level and they navigate appropriately. The people that do not make as much money are the ones that try to understand every little detail about everything. If they're not like developers, which is fine, to each their own. That's just my anecdotal observation. If it doesn't inform behavior, it doesn't matter to me. That's my personal, it's just my personal heuristic here. So here's what we have coming. Okay. And just again, I want to highlight this Phantom thing again, because this is what's happening in the background, right? I can't tell you who our biggest supporters are for on the BSC side. You could look at our charts. You could look at our TVL. You ever wonder how we pass everybody and get 20 million in TVL with zero marketing? We know who our supporters are, and you know what? Our supporters are very much the people that say if this becomes moon boyish, if they're shilling, if that group becomes, that's why there's not a night group. The people with the largest money and the most influence do have no interest in this pumping and dumping and shilling and silly stuff that everybody's doing. And Phantom is no different. Phantom is a blank slate because it's so new. So Phantom is straight up saying, if you post moon boyish stuff, we will not publicly support you. However, if you are respectful and your tweets and stuff are not pictures of charts and you're not talking about price and you're showing utility, right? Again, utility. Then we will gladly support and retweet and all that stuff. So you wonder why like people come in and they're like, bro, why are you so like aggressive, or why are you so strict? All the Telegram groups are like this. This is just normal. Yeah, I know it's normal. If I was interested in being normal, I wouldn't have gotten into this. I have no interest in being like everybody else. If you guys do, that's okay. Just take that particular behavior into a different group. They like it. So you have to understand that we want unusual results, atypical results. We're not going to be a typical community. And the people that can really move the needle, they appreciate that and they want that. That is why every time it's like, no marketing, small group, this will never work. Even Undead, no marketing, small group. And you can just go look at Undead if you want. Okay. So that's our people. Shilling is not the only way. In fact, it's the least efficient way. That's what people do when they can't deliver. November 15th, that's today. Business Treasury program that's rolling out. We've been working hard on it. Matty Dubs, our resident savant wolf, has been working hard on it. So if you are already a partner business of ours, or you want to start building your treasury with the base case, we have the resources for that inside of the Wolfden. If you are not in the Wolfden, don't ask about it, right? We have a lot of people that are like, how can I take advantage of all these benefits you guys have? And the first question is like, well, you're not in the Wolfden. Why would you get the benefits? If you are, this will be posted first in the Guardian tier. We got to get some people situated. Help them build a business treasury that is reliable in the most reliable way using the tools that we have. Enhanced, it's supposed to be a D there. Wolfden strategies on night. So before I jump plane to Dallas on Thursday morning, I'm going to do a video or two just showing enhanced strategies. We've already talked about how to take profit, and then we built on top of it how to take profit and build a stable treasury without killing the golden goose, which means your base is growing, your paycheck is growing, and your treasury is growing simultaneously. Of course it can be done. There's a reason things were built the way they were built over here. Right? This is built similar to every other DEX, but a little bit different. But again, people come in like, well, on other DEXs, you can do this. I don't care what other DEXs do. What would be the point of just doing what somebody's already doing? That would be the most boring, pointless use of time and resources on the planet, in my opinion, for me, my personality, my disposition. The NFW marketplace will be live. Now, let me check. I think the front page is live. But it was taking a while for everything to propagate appropriately. So the marketplace right here, see, it'll be on Wizard. And I think we still going to get an error. Yeah, we still get an error. It's still propagating. So much better user interface than before, in my opinion. And you have your marketplace, and you have your NFT farm, your whole entire NFT farm, which obviously we have like almost $500,000 of wolfies in there, yielding wolf pups. So as that gets built out, we're going to go back to having our premiums, and we're going to start listing all kinds of cool NFWs and that you can either farm and or buy. And members can also take the NFWs that they own and relist them on the marketplace. I know a bunch of you have NFWs. We're going to have to airdrop new versions of the ones that you got from our previous marketplace. Don't ask a bunch of questions how to do that. Just follow instructions. That's how it goes. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, at Dallas, we have a huge reveal. Wolfies, our first token. It was an interesting undertaking, right? It was like, let's see how to do this. And then Guardian was a little bit bigger. It was a little bit like, okay, now we got a lot of attention. We got a lot of people watching, and we're making a pretty big promise here. And yeah, I think we delivered really well on that. And then Night, a DEX, a full-blown DEX with 20 million TVL, farms, pools, all that stuff. It's a much larger undertaking, and obviously we're gunning. I hope they're watching. We're gunning for Ape Swap number 2. It's a number 2 spot. Ape Swap, we're coming for you. And we're going to do it nice under the radar, just like this. This is about as public as we'll ever be about it. That's a large undertaking, but it pales in comparison to what we are revealing in Dallas. So huge reveal. If you are there, awesome. If you are not there, here's what happens. We do the reveal. That reveal has an opportunity. That opportunity has a limited number of spots. If it does not insta-fill on the spot in person, we'll roll it down to Wolfden Guardians. We will explain the reveal, and we'll give an opportunity. If it does not insta-fill there, then we will roll it out to people that are in the Degengineering public group on Telegram. Okay? So it'll probably fill before it gets there, but keep your eyes out. That'll be Friday and Saturday. I'm not sure what day we're doing the reveal. I have a itinerary that just says, speaker break, event, or, whatever, thing 1, break, thing 2. I don't know where the reveal falls yet. I haven't asked. I don't care. I know what it is. It's going to be huge. It's by far the largest undertaking that the Wolfden has. Mario. I just see Mario in the comments. What's up, Mario? So, quick recap here. Again, this is probably not the last public one, but we're going to throttle down how many times we're doing this publicly. Keep it within the Wolfden, because I have a very low tolerance for people that are not willing to think for themselves. And there's just too many of those people out there in the wild. Night, probably sitting at, we're adding a little over 1 million in TVL. A little over 1 million in TVL a day. There still hasn't been any marketing. This is a fraction of what we have coming, because obviously much of the business treasury program will be on Night and Dark Night. The Dark Night launch is in exactly a week, most likely. And of course, we did Undead, the Undead marketplace. Okay, and his strategies, NFW marketplace, that's on BSC. The Undead marketplace will reveal around the same time on Phantom, and we got a huge reveal in Dallas. And listening while on the road, they're partners, not the Cortex token. Yeah. And so to just understand that everything has a purpose. I totally understand when you come into our Telegram group and you expect it to be like other Telegram groups. I understand it's not going to fly. When you come to our decks and you expect it to be like other dexes, I understand that's not going to fly. There is zero reason for me to put resources into something that already exists. I would just use that thing, right? So anything that we build fills a very specific need that does not exist, which means you cannot use 100% of your pre-wired ideas about how things work, these assumptions, in order to function within the ecosystem, right? If you go, well, ApeSwap does this, like, cool. If ApeSwap did what we were trying to accomplish, we would have just used ApeSwap. There's no reason to put the time, effort, and money into building other things. So you just have to understand that's how innovation works. We're not just cloning things so we can have our own. The reason to have our own is to provide a utility or a reliability that we cannot get from somewhere else. Okay, oh, that makes sense. I'm actually making slides here. If you know me, you know I hate slides, but Dallas, you're going to get some slides. So hope to see you guys in Dallas. I know Mario will be in Dallas. I know Nacho Fiat is driving to Dallas right now. Who else is on here? We'll see who else is coming to Dallas. That's it. Nice and quick one today. Nothing super fancy. We're going to have more raids. I think there's 3 more coming this week. One of them is a very big project that has been trending #1 on CMC for a while. And what we're going to do is we're going to exchange with them. They need some help with some relieving some sell pressure. And so I'm going to do some consulting with them, and in exchange, they're going to provide a farm and pools. And then those farm and pools will turn into probably an NFT marketplace that also relieves sell pressure from them. So that's a ton of totally appreciate a straightforward expectation. I'm happy to comply. I appreciate that. I find that most people are happy to comply if they understand what the expectation is and how it helps them or the community. A lot of people are very happy to make a small personal sacrifice for the betterment of the community if they understand what the hell is going on. The problem with DeFi, by and large, is that developers make stuff and then the team talks about it and they see this brilliant idea and then it is never effectively communicated to the community. So when you ask the community to do something, right, like I can ask my guardians, hey, we guys do this. And it sounds to them, if they're not educated and it has been communicated, it sounds like, wow, you're asking me to take a hit. But if they understand why, for example, $30 million in TVL supports the price in a way that makes sure their golden goose is spitting out a return forever, then they will gladly take a little bit less right now to lock in a forever. If that is not explained, people are going to sell this token into the ground, right? Because they want what they want as fast as possible given the evidence that they have. And so, can't hit Dallas, see you in Dallas, awesome. So yeah, most people are more than happy to comply. You say, here's a money printer, here's some math, you see how you can use this to get what you want, and the way that you can guarantee that you get what you want and mitigate the risk. You cannot remove risk. Similar to what's it called, a stoicism, you don't remove emotion, you domesticate it. Okay? We do not remove risk. It is a myth. It's okay to think that you've removed risk, but it's also risky. That's how black swans happen. Black swans happen when we think we've removed the risk. We don't understand we've simply domesticated it, and so we stop looking for it. Right? You could domesticate an animal. You still have to stay on top of the training and use the commands, and there's some maintenance when something has been domesticated. So the illusion of removing it is also the mistake of no longer maintaining, right? So we domesticate risk, and you can do that if you take these actions. Almost everybody will comply. Almost everybody will comply if somebody just takes the time to help them see what is going on and see a little bit bigger picture. You're eliminating all the static that typically muddles the message in typical channel. Yeah. Well, I don't care what you do. That's a big, there's a few others. I don't care what you do. Which most people, obviously, which it makes perfect sense. They go live or they make content. They're trying to get you to do something, right? Oh, you want somebody to buy your shit? Well, you got to make some content. So they're only doing something in order to get or I'm explicit about it, right? I just tell people, hey, I'm going live because I want you to load up this TVL, and here's how it benefits you. And I'm on the same strategy you are. So if your base case tanks and you don't get wealthy, well, then guess what? My strategy to get wealthy doesn't work either. So what I do is I build things that I want, and I build them in a way so that the more people that participate, the more sustainable they are. Most of DeFi is built the opposite. If you've ever been in other farms or pools, I basically take what is common and invert it. Most DeFi, the more people that participate, the more fragile it becomes. Not the best projects like Anchor Protocol from the Terra ecosystem. Anchor Protocol, the more people that participate, the more robust and the safer the returns are, because they have a very, very sophisticated developer and team. Most of DeFi is lazy, and the more people that participate, the more fragile it becomes. I build the opposite. So the way that I can have control over my own outcome, this is the selfishness. I'm being 100% honest about the selfish nature of this. I want to use this. This is the best strategy that I can see given the evidence that I have. I've looked at the moonshots. Mario's here. They're phenomenal, but you're at the mercy of the market. Bitcoiners, same thing. I got a lot of Bitcoin. I'm still at the mercy of the market. This puts me in control. Okay? Now, the only way that this happens is if I teach a whole bunch of other people to see what I see and they participate. So I need to build it in a way that the more people that I help educate, the more sustainable my own personal strategy is, and the more sustainable their own personal strategy is. Right? That's a win-win-win. Most people do not think hard enough or don't have the capacity to create a win-win-win, an ecosystem. All right, so I hope that makes sense. That's why I'm so forward. That's why I tell people straight up, they think I'm being mean. I'm like, no, just sell your night and go away. Because people like you, not saying there's anything wrong with people like you, but people that have this particular mentality are not providing the sustainability for us, which is what we want. We don't want you to pump our token price. We're not looking for exit liquidity. That's not what an ecosystem is built for. Right? Of course, there are absolutely places where when we want to take profit, we want to take a moonshot, we have a macro belief in Bitcoin, we want to sell the blow off top to buy more later. Yeah, we're looking for exit liquidity. But we're talking about 1, 5, 10-year timelines. It is zero benefit of me or us in this community to try and get 100 people to come pump this coin today. It's diametrically opposed to what we say that we want. We say that we want a sustainable ecosystem for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And then we are behaving in a way that provides the exit liquidity today. That is a micro strategy diametrically opposed to a macro belief. It means you are lying to yourself about what you want. You are saying, oh yeah, I would love passive income to pay my bills and get rich over 5 years. But you are acting as if you actually rather just have a dopamine hit and a thrill at the expense of what you say you really want. So 99% of crypto, believe it or not, is mental. It's you're not being honest with yourself. You're joining groups that say they want one thing, and you are behaving in diametric opposition of what you were saying you're wanting. No wonder you don't get what you want. It's like saying I want to spend more time with my family. I want to spend more time with my family. That's my most important thing. And that's what you tell all your friends, and you put it on your vision board. And then your solution to spend more time with your family is to never see them because you're working so hard so that someday you can see them. Right? So these are the things. And we're talking a little bit about this in Dallas, but this is why we operate the way we do. It's why it's so different. People are confused. It's always surprising to me that people are surprised. Like people sit on the sideline thinking like, oh, this will never work. He's not doing it like these other tokens. They don't even have any marketing. Look, they only have 1,000 Twitter followers or 500 people in the announcement channel. This will never work. Yeah, well, tell that to JetSwap, who we just flipped, and tell that to Walt, Walt's been around for years. Just flip them, or we're about to anyway. I think 30 million will flip them. So if you want results that are above and beyond what is currently offered to you in an obvious way, then you have to understand that the method to get there will not be obvious to you. If it were obvious to you, then you would already have that thing, wouldn't you? So there's some level of that we need to understand. Hope that's useful. We're going to keep plowing forward. I'm going to move more and more to private Wolfden only, because we actually have pretty much all of the funds and backing that we would ever need in order to become the second or third biggest DEX, which directly obviously supports our core assets. I'm not even looking at our charts today because they've done the same thing for weeks now, which is go straight up. We can look at, let's look at one. You ever notice I never talk directly about our tokens, and yet look what happens. I haven't seen this today. Oh, look at that. We never talk directly about our tokens. That is a very unsophisticated, amateurish way to market, in my opinion. We just make people want them, because in order to, for example, I just said I'm only going live in the Wolfden from now on, moving forward, and I'll do some public stuff. But all the strategies, the only way to get in the Wolfden is to have a wolf pup NFW, non-fungible wolf. The only way to buy a wolf pup is wolfies. So if people want to get into the den and learn what we do, they have to buy wolfies. The price of wolfies is irrelevant. That's why there's nobody exiting here to profit, right? There's not a lot of sell pressure. I hope you guys can understand this and see this. And people are still buying up here because the price is irrelevant. Nobody cares what the price of wolfies is. So some people do, but there's a handful of 400, 500 people in the Wolfden. They don't care what the price of wolfies is. They just want what it provides them. So pumping and dumping tokens is exactly why pumping a token is exactly why they dump. This was never pumped. This was said, hey, look, I got this stuff. You want this stuff? You got to buy a wolf pup NFT with wolfies. Look at that. Boom. They didn't buy it so they could sell it. They bought it so they could access something. Right? We can look at Guard. Guard does the same thing over and over. It makes a leg up. It consolidates in a weird like downward thing, and then it makes a leg up over and over. And there's a reason for that. We never talk about Guard. There's no Guard campaigns. There's no Guard banners. There's no shilling Guard token. I think it's about 15 or 16 up from launch. It does this downward thing, and then it's just done this over and over. Makes a leg up. Once people realize what it does, it makes this leg up. And then, we just don't pump it all the time. And then again, somebody's going to realize what it does, and it'll make another leg up, and it'll do this again. It just does that over and over. This one was much smaller. See this one here? It just kind of was consolidating, starting to slope downward, leg up, consolidating, starting to slope downward, leg up. This was like a dump off or something, and then leg up. We never talk about them. No marketing campaigns, no shilling. Wolfies is not even on CoinGecko, just because why, So if you don't understand that, if you don't understand the ecosystem, if you see us looking at night and you're like, oh man, they must have abandoned Wolfies and Guard, I should just go all in on this thing, or you see us talking about Wizard, and you abandon the positions that we recommend people be in, you miss this, that's on you. Your FOMO, urgency, you don't understand ecosystem. Everything we do directly benefits the entire ecosystem. So Night directly supports Guardian. Guardian directly supports Wolfies. That's how it's built. That's been explained. I'm pretty sure it's in the white paper. If not, it will be soon. Right? So Guardian, all the fees from Guardian directly support Wolfies. And Night directly supports Guardian. And check this out. Night is supported by its own TVL because it's a DEX, right? There's trading fees, there's staking fees. There's no staking fees right now, but there will be. There's initial offerings. So Night Wolfies supported by Guardian, right? Which is additional support. It doesn't actually need any support. We haven't had to use it. Guardian has a secondary support in Night, and Night has a secondary support in its own TVL. That's an ecosystem. So if everything grows, Wolfies benefits because Guard benefits, which supports Wolfies. If everything grows, Guard benefits because Night directly supports Guard. And if Night TVL grows, everything benefits because that's how an ecosystem works. Or you can go pumping up a single coin. People losing their hair, losing sleep, spending millions of dollars trying to keep a coin relevant on CoinMarketCap. I think they're a bunch of goofballs. They probably think I'm a goofball. That's perfectly fine. You play the game that best fits your unique disposition, and you'll be all right, right? It's all about playing your game. I'm playing with the screen, trying to figure out how to make it. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. I hope to see you guys in Dallas. If you have any questions, drop on the Wolfden. Let me know. And onward and upward. There's going to be, I will tell you, I don't know when. Do not move stuff around. Just pay attention. There will be signs. Guard is probably going to make another leg up. It'll probably be after I come to Dallas. And I'll tell you why after it happens, okay? I'm not a hype guy. I'll tell you why after it happens. You'll see it make a leg up, and then I'll show you exactly why it happened. That way we're not buying promises.